What a life you have had. If only you could talk and tell us all about it. Hello equestrians, my name is Alyssa and I am on a quest to ride every breed. There are hundreds of different horse breeds and each one has their own unique story. So saddle up and join me on a ride to discover the horse. Before I head on to New Zealand, it's time to meet Australia's wild horse, the Brumby. I'm headed to a farm in South Australia to meet up with Lisa and her Brumbies. That is a pretty view right there.
They are stunningly beautiful, but they're also just amazing horses to use for whatever purposes you might want to use them for. They're strong, they're stable, they're balanced, they're sure-footed, they're really smart. They're so easy to train. They've got strong feet. Riding Daisy, you'll find out in a minute, is like sitting in an armchair. So very, very balanced and comfortable to ride.
Here's Daisy.
Here's the girl.
So her full name is VBA, which is Victorian Brumby Association, Alpine Daisy. So she's registered with the Snowy Mountain Brumby Registry.
It's so nice to meet you. Okay, I have to say, I have wanted to ride a Brumby ever since watching The Man from Snowy River, which I saw when I was, I don't even know how old. So this is a very defining moment for me.
She went through what's called the Australian Brumby Challenge 5 years ago, and they present at Equestrian in Melbourne. And so they have 150 days of training with a professional trainer, and then they present at Equestrian over 4 days, and then people can buy them in the auction at the end. I went to buy a 14 hand plus gelding, and I came home with a 13-2 mare, which is kind of funny because I'm tall and, you know, she's little, and but it's the best thing I've ever done.
So you knew you were going to purchase a horse when you went there?
You know, when you tell the universe and then you work towards it, and everything came together. It was one of those things where actually everything did come together. A friend gave me her Equestrian ticket because she couldn't go. I had friends living right next to the showgrounds that could put me up for a few days, and then I ran around the farm for weeks beforehand selling bulbs and plants and things to see if I could save up enough money to buy one. And I didn't have very much, and I didn't know how much they were going to sell for, and I shortlisted 2 horses, and she was the first in the auction order, and the other horse, Honey, was the last. So I thought, right, well, I'll just go for broke and see what happens. And I ended up with Daisy, and yeah, from there we now have another Brumby, and lots of my friends have Brumbies because they meet Daisy.
We've done some agility and some, like anything that we've had access to, we've gone and tried, and she's great at jumping. She's really good at dressage, though I'm not. We've got lots of lovely back roads around here that we can go out riding on. Daisy's absolutely not worried about traffic and motorbikes and things like that, so we can go wherever we like, and we'll often go out for hours just riding on the roads out and around the back of Harndorf and Mylor, which is beautiful. But it's just the emotional connection, and I feel like we can talk to each other, and yeah, it's pretty incredible.
She's in a treeless saddle.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about this.
So I don't mind what kind of saddle people use, but I need a 17-inch saddle. This is not a back for a 17-inch saddle. And we tried lots of different saddles, and while I found a few treed saddles that fit her, they were way too small for me. I rode her bareback for the first year. I couldn't find a saddle to fit her. And then someone suggested I try one of these, and someone lent me one. You can see they've got a big space here for their shoulders, and she is as comfortable in it.
This is probably totally normal to you, but there are 3 kangaroos right here.
And we've got a mob of about 30 that live on our place.
Ooh, that's a pretty bird.
Oh, that's a galah, the pink one. The VBA have a great program. Nearly all the mares are pregnant when they come in. She actually foaled the night she was caught. So she came off the truck to the sanctuary and had a foal that night. But then they turn them out into, they're an enormous property.
Yeah.
They turn them out for a year, still in a wild mob, to grow their foals and stuff, but then then they get run into the yards and put through the challenge. She was ridden bridleless, no neck rope, no nothing, no halter on the final day. They had freestyle day, and Nigel was wearing these blue wings that were like really tall, and while he's cantering her around in the circle, he just leans forward and takes the bridle off and keeps doing the challenge. And I'm just like, okay, I don't need that in my horse, but you know, if you could teach her that, that's cool.
It says a lot about who she is.
Just keep looking for your kangaroos, Alyssa. They're all in the old orchard up there.
They're everywhere. Oh my God, this is an Australian dream ride. There's kangaroos all throughout the hills. Back at the farm, there is someone else waiting to say hello.
Last year, I went to the Victorian Brumby Association, and they run clinics every so often where you can go, you normally get 4 to 5 days with one of the wild horses, and then you get to be the first person to touch them and bring them home. So instead of getting one already pre-prepared, I'm breaking her in.
So that's what you did with her?
Yeah.
So you were the first person to touch her?
Yeah.
Okay, that, as a horse person, it had to be so emotional for you.
I want everyone to do it.
Yeah.
Even if they're not horse people.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you all at the next breed.